Hey, you. Yeah, you. You excited for Leviathan? Me too. What is this? Oh, yeah, just playing tall. Very tall. There's a lot you can look forward to in 1.31 in Leviathan, and this video is very proudly sponsored by the good people over at Paradox. They gave me Leviathan early, that way I could make this video to showcase you, and I'm getting paid for it, baby. So stick around. This is going to be a very fun video, and I have a lot for you to enjoy. But before we get started, I need to let you guys know that this video is also sponsored alongside Paradox by my wonderful supporters over at Patreon at patreon.com/Chewyshoot. Patreon is linked in the description, as well as a link to pick up Leviathan through Paradox. So I encourage you to check those out, linked in the description below. The goal of this particular campaign is to stick to 4 states in the Malay Peninsula. Here, 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 and here. We are not going to grow farther than this, personally. We will have vassals, but it's going to be very, very fun. We're going to see how high we can get on the Great Power list while only being 4 provinces. We are going to show off vassal feeding. There's a lot of really interesting new features, pillaging capital in the peace deal, as well as concentrating development from your vassal's land with this button right here. You're going to see some crazy stuff happening, and I am very excited for it. We're also going to take a look at a couple of the monuments around the map. There's a couple of really interesting modifiers that you can expect from them. It does depend on culture, religion, etc. So not all of these benefits will be available to all nations. Another thing to keep in mind is that this is an early access patch, and thus the game is going to 100% look different from what I have right now to what you will be receiving whenever you purchase Leviathan after release. That being said, it is still ready to roll. The game is playable. I just want you guys to know that you will probably see things a little bit differently than what I do, whether it be balance, minor bug fixes, those sorts of things. Let's get into our campaign. We're going to be playing as Malacca. Here we are. So you can see there's definitely been some serious border changes in Leviathan, as to be expected, especially with a major rework in the Southeast Asia location. But Malacca received, among many things, a new mission tree that is, if you take a look at it, very heavy on subjugation CBs. If you come down over here, subjugate these Pahang dudes right here, subjugation CB on a bunch of other people, and you dominate the peninsula and you get some modifiers. Subjugation on Leviathan, which is kind of cool. Trade dominance, which gives us trade efficiency. There's actually a couple of permanent modifiers here. Local goods produced in a province here to the end of the game. Tolerance to the true faith. Spice and flow, good produced for the rest of the game. Trade supremacy. So there's a lot. Oh, 10 Mercantilism, pretty good. So yes, there's a lot of really interesting modifiers. One of the interesting things here is this is all inland seas now, all of it, as well as galleys have received a facelift. You can see galleys now only cost 60 sailors, and it scales up as time goes on. Anybody who's been keeping up with the dev diaries would know that. And it's going to keep going up over time. It will scale, so they'll be much more expensive in the later game, which makes sense. We start off as a plutocracy, and our ideas are global trade power, naval force limit, which is going to be pretty nice for us, desire and subjects, as well as income from vassals, ship trade power, additional ship trade power on top of what we already get. Diplo rep is nice because we're going to have a lot of subjects. Tolerance to the true faith, trade steering, again, pretty good. You can see where I'm going with this playthrough. Legitimacy, and then idea cost, and we finish up with another merchant to top it off. So we're going to have 4 merchants total in 1444. So one of the things that I was strongly considering is making a grab at this monument over here. The downside is that we cannot, because we need to be I think it's Hindu, one of them, either Hindu or Buddhist, one of the two. Yeah, so like this needs to be Buddhist to receive the benefits here, and this needs to be Hindu. You need to be Hindu for this, which is unfortunate because that's a 15% global dev cost modifier and extra missionary and missionary strength. But we're not going to be able to do this. I thought about it, but we're not going to be able to. I'm not sure about this one up here with Pegu. We may need to be there, but there's a couple of really interesting great monuments here in the Angkor Wat. 15% tech cost. There's a few really interesting things that I'm going to have to look into whether or not we can actually take them, because a lot of them depend on culture and religion, and kind of figuring out that meta there is going to take some time. So being independent and building up to our force limit here and being stronger than Majipai and Sayak gives us Sayak as a vassal for free and subjugation on Delhi and Jambi. So Delhi is these guys right here and Jambi is these guys right here. So that's pretty good. Let's click that button there and turn right around and see who we can attack. Apparently Patani will join now, which is annoying. It's fine. I don't care. So we will now subjugate them. One of the cool, interesting things that we will be doing eventually is we will be pillaging capitals. We can say Malacca pillages the Delhi capital, which would give us 4 development and reduce theirs by 5. But obviously, we want to vassalize him because it's going to be really cheap for us. We're going to take all of his money as well. It's going to be super disloyal right off the rip. But hopefully what we can do is pay off his debt on the monthly tick. Did not pick up any debt. So we're just going to need to improve relations with him, and that will be fine. Gonna have to build one of these guys right here.
Yeah, boy.
So our first idea group is going to be influence, I assume. It's going to be definitely what we need to work with, especially considering that we plan on playing tall, meaning lots of vassals, and it's going to synergize well with that sort of play style. It's going to be really good for us, especially combined with a couple of these permanent modifiers we're going to be getting. So that's what we're going to be going with. First button click of the campaign here is this concentrate development into our lands. So what we do here is we go down to our vassals' lands and we say, hey, this is nice land here. I think I will take it. And since we have them all mostly like Liberty Desired handled, it's not really a huge deal. And so this will be really good. Apparently it affects Patani instead of... It's really weird. So it affects the land of the vassal who you're clicking in their land. But regardless, what that just did is it raised our development quite significantly over here. So you can see our development right here in these 2 provinces, because this is where we're deving institution right now. And, you know, it's taking a bit longer than I would like, but it's okay. It's fine. It's moving along just fine.
How dare you?
I can't believe it. All right, well, that's pretty annoying. So this war has been going on significantly longer than it should have been, but I can finally do what I really wanted to do, which is to pillage the capital. So I'm going to get 1 development from this, but I can also, you know, do all these clicks as well. And you can do this to each individual belligerent of the war. These guys as well. We're going to pillage their capital. I'll send back 2 development to my capital, which is great. And then, of course, all those clicks there. And now this one, this is the big one here. I will pillage his capital. You know, it costs a little bit of aggressive expansion, but it's fine. So right there, 4 development will be going back to my capital. I will humiliate him, which was the main reason why I wanted to do that in the first place. And then I will take war reps, transfer trade, and all of his money. Not bad. So now when you click on our capital, you see it's all the way up to 29 development. So that's pretty good. Next idea group, economic. We need to be up on development. That's the goal here. So having more development is going to be very good, because what we're going to do is we're going to be able to develop our vassals' lands and then yoink it to our own lands. So we can be even bigger and stronger. This is very important. We have Big Bertha. Shout out Arumba. So with the occupation of Ayutthay's capital, we can now click this button here and pillage his capital. He will lose 6 development in his capital state, and it will send 4 of it back to me, and I can also get some money. Some of it obviously is going to go to Pasai, which is fine because he did donate his manpower to the cause. These guys took economic into quantity. These guys took espionage. So we are going to annex these guys, and I'm going to give him this land. That's how we're going to do that. Next up is to full annex this state, and of course, pillage his capital. That's another 4 development for me that I don't even have to worry about. And then what we can do is we can come in here, release these guys here. They will follow the wrong faith, but that's okay. I am tolerant. But they will be there, and they will give me their trade power. So we've also finished annexing these guys over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them all of this, because I don't want it. They have economic quantity. We could wait for admin ideas to finish our eco ideas, but I think it's okay to just push through this now. we'll be able to get it before it even, like, this is the first province, or the second province in the whole world that's going to completely have it, which is hilarious. It's the only province in the world other than Lincolnshire that will have it, and we'll be able to embrace it, and we'll be much better off because of it. So this is good. Now take a look at that. Even with the -1, we should just absolutely destroy them. This is it. So we're going to give these 4 provinces to Ligor. We are going to pillage his capital, and we are going to humiliate him, take the rest of his money. Lots of AE, don't really care. Boom, just like that. And now we're up almost to 50 dev in our capital. We are within striking distance of becoming a great power as 4 states. Obviously, you know, the vassals give you a little bit of an extra boost. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I think it's only going to keep going up as we continue to go through this. But more importantly, we get the mill mana, and we get some permanent claims on some clay up here, which I think will quite come in handy. Next idea group is here. We're going to go with plutocratic because why not? Plutocratic is good. Gives you morale, unrest, extra merchants. Goods produced is the big one. Caravan power is really good, as well as manpower recovery speed, institution spread, merchant guild. These are all fine things, but also take a look at this. With influence, it stacks an additional 10% liberty, desire, and subjects, which we're going to need if we're going to be playing with big, strong vassals, as well as economic ideas. Gives us a little bit more tax, which anybody who watches Levic knows that tax is overpowered. So that's going to be something that we're gonna work with. This should be good. I'm optimistic, especially considering that we're ahead on tech, so we can actually do that there. Oh my goodness, look at that, 10 development going to our lands. We definitely have to do that. It's going to hurt our liberty, desire in our vassal here, but yeah, that is very necessary. Very, very necessary in my mind. And it'll tick down 0.1 per month, I believe. That's usually how that works. Yes, 0.1 per month. So it'll be fine in time. Obviously, we're going to have to do a couple of things to keep him improved relation and all that stuff, but it should be fine. I'm not too worried about it. And I'm curious actually what the dev is in this province because of how many times I've looted it. 24. So let's take a quick look here and... Nani? Oh my goodness. 75 or 76. That is incredible. Actually incredible. So all of these will go back to him. That is 15 AE. Not bad. And of course, the most OP mechanic in this patch right now is I'm also going to pillage you, and you're going to give that province here to Delhi because it's been bothering me for a long time. There we go. 100% them. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. So things are really starting to come together. Just like that, our capital is up to 87 dev. You saw it here, 87. So I was under the impression that it would spread it out amongst the entire state, but it looks like it's just all going to there. So yes, if you take a look at our dev, you can see here, we've been doing pretty good here. Well, yeah, we had a coalition that has declared war on us. So it is time to go to war. Good news is it's mostly just up here. So we'll be fighting in these forts here. This is a jungle fort. So yeah, they will not get into my land. It does not matter to me. All right, this has been an absolute slugfest. I am ready to get out of this war, and honestly, I'm just gonna, take the longest truce possible and get out of it. I have had, oh man. Luckily, we still have manpower to spare, but dude, that was rough. That was very rough. I am certainly ready to move on past that one. I'm almost done with plutocratic, which is good. And we are ready to be ahead of time by 14 years on all 3 techs. So I am certainly happy with that as well. So we'll see how things go. It's going to really... They have a lot of unrest over here. War exhaustion is pretty high. Understandably, they were basically full occupied for the entirety of that war. And we now have 101 dev on our capital. That feels pretty good. And then you come down through here and you just click these buttons a couple of times. Man, look at all that money. Look at all that money. You hate to do it because of the base tax meta, but man, it's so good to have all that money in the bank, and you can immediately turn that around and spend it on manufactories. So it's all good. So we'll start with the one we have the least of, which is mill, and then you just go back and forth on here until you spawn it, which is going to be right about there. Ah, one more click. There you go. Now the printing press is in Malaya, or Malaysia, or however you prefer to call it. So that's pretty cool. And now we just need to embrace it, which we will be able to soon because it will spread very quickly to our lands and should be no problem at all. Ming has broken their tributary status. I will rival him, but the most important thing about all of this, take a look at that. Fifth great power. 4 states. Remember, 4 states. Fifth great power. Pretty impressive. So here's the question. Ming has no mandate. Their manpower will go down as they have rebels. They have 117,000 men. I could have up to 86 easily enough. Now I think what I do here is I recruit some mercs, and I think we attack the Ming. What do you guys say? I think it will be quite fun if we do this. So let's get our armies grouped up over here, and I think we're going to attack the Ming. All right, I think it is time for Leroy Jenkins. We're going to try it out. I am not 100% sold on the idea that it's going to work well, but we'll see what we can do here. So let's see what it'll give us. 6. Well, it'll give us 4 minus 6 for him. And then we could withdraw from the Bank of Ming, but I don't really need to. I'm not really sure exactly what all I would even want in this war. I could just humiliate him and take war reps. I think that sounds like a good plan. No war reps, actually. Money instead sounds just as good for me. So he's going to be humiliated, which is going to give us big PP. He will give me lots of money, and we will pillage his capital. How about that? We just lost 6 dev, and we gained 4 in ours. We're up to 114 dev. This is nuts. It's actually nuts. Feels so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And with that, I think I have successfully shown off how incredibly broken a couple of these button clicks here can be. They have added incredible ways to play tall in this new patch, and I am very excited to see kind of where we can take it. Obviously, the Reddit is going to be ablaze with all these crazy things. I'm sure it will get tweaked a wee little bit at some point. I would not be surprised at all. As I said in the beginning, you guys are seeing an early access thing that was very generously given to me by Paradox for this sponsored video. So you can take a look here. We are 4 states big. We are the 4th largest great power, 4th. And we are, I mean, look at this. Look at this dev. 40, 34, 31. The combined this, 37, 118 in our capital. I guarantee you it's the highest dev province in the world. Guaranteed. Nothing's even going to come close to it. 39 over here. But 51 in Cairo. That's pretty good. Paris is 34. So yes, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming in the patch. It's just around the corner. So yes, if you guys are excited, and you are as excited as I am, I'm going to be playing a couple of fun stuff, and I'm going to announce it right now. We're going to be playing the White Elephant coming here for the first campaign for 1.31. I am excited. I hope you guys are excited for Leviathan. If you are, I'm going to be doing a giveaway with Quaggersol. Make sure you stay tuned for some instructions on that if you want to enter for a chance to win a copy of Leviathan. We're going to be giving away 2 of them. And as I said before, this video is co-sponsored alongside Paradox by my incredible supporters over at Patreon. Patreon.com/Chewyshoot. It's going to be linked in the description below. And if you'd like to join in on that support, it is all very much appreciated and goes directly back into creating more content like this for you to enjoy. That is all I've got for you for today, though. This is Chewyshoot, and I will catch you guys later. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I would like to give a big special thanks to my top supporters for the month of April: Drunk Binary, Spartan Omega, Bloodbound, Devos Sander, Angelic, Sprocket, Ian, M. Dressel, Thar, Blonde Damon, Gabriel Court, Corbett, Shankopotamus, T. Jarden, Barking Glad, Natsuki, Disdain, Harry, Emirado, Jay Cutchell, N. Winkler, RJ Pilot, and Stolier. I appreciate you guys very much.